very simple responsive page navigation menu using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So let's get started. I'm going to open up Sublime Text. I'm going to make a new file, save it, responsivenav.html. Okay, so we have this file. I'm not going to worry about any of the naming. I'm just going to start writing out my HTML. So I'm going to have a UL. I'm going to give it a class of nav. I'm going to li and have some anchor tags. Okay, let's just make this very short and to the point. Contact. Alright, so I'm going to open this up in a browser. Let's see, I like to use Chrome. Okay, there it is. Just a very simple menu. And let's start writing out some of the styling. And the first thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to select my UL with a class of nav, and I'm going to get rid of that text decoration. None. I don't like it. Background color, I'm going to set it to flat black, and I'm going to set the font color to white. But I don't think that's going to do anything because these are links. Yeah. Next up, I'm going to get rid of this white space. So I'm going to set the body margin, the body's margin and padding to 0. And while I'm at it, I'm going to change the font family to, let's do Helvetica New. Okay. Let's see, I think I may have spelled something wrong. Let's margin padding. Nope. So the nav itself has a little bit of margin. So the text decoration didn't go away. Don't know what happened there. Dang it. This is CSS for you. That's okay because I'm just gonna set this to display inline block and it's gonna go away. Alright. That's because it was supposed to be list style is none. Moving on though, so let's get rid of the underlying and the blue text on the links. So text decoration none. Font size, let's do 40 pixels, and the color we'll make it white. And let's also do text align center on the nav. And where is it? They're there. They're just black. That's it. Okay, so wasn't even paying attention. All right, cool. So now I have developer tools open, and when I resize, it tells me the width. And I think at about, let's say 600 pixels. So at 600 pixels, we're going to want to override some of our styles. And the way you override styles based off your page width is using a media query. So we're going to say max width when it's 600 pixels. Everything inside this curly brace block, compute those styles and override this up here. So just as a demonstration, I'm going to change the body color. I'm going to set it to blue. Okay, and when I resize the page, it goes back to white. And then when it goes less than 600, it goes to blue. So we're not going to change the body color. What we're going to do is we're going to change the nav itself. And instead of it, the nav list item, so instead of being inline block, we're going to do display block. Okay, so, all right. And I don't like the text centered like that. I'm going to change that to text align left. Okay, so when I resize here, it's display inline with text align center. And when it's less than 600 pixels, it is text align left with and it's display block. So moving on, we're going to want some way for the user to show and hide this menu. So we're going to make a button, and I'm just going to make a span, give it a class of nav button, and I'm going to do something that you may or may not have seen before. I'm going to use a before pseudo selector, and I'm going to give it content, and I'm going to give that. I'm going to say that content should be menu. So this text menu. All right, there it is. So the before and after pseudo selectors, the way I think of it as perspective. So if someone's standing 5 feet in front of you, if you're looking head on, it might look like that person is right next to you when they're actually just slightly before where you're standing. Same thing with after. So there's before and after. I'm not going to say too much about that. I'm just going to move along and display, set this to display block, and set the background color to flat black, set the font color to black, or to white, and set the font size to 40 pixels. Okay, that looks good. I'm also going to center the font, and I'm going to change the cursor. So let's change the cursor to a pointer. This way, when you hover over it, you see the pointer. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this clickable, and we're going to show and hide this menu down here based off of the clicks. And we're going to use that. We're going to do that using JavaScript. So first thing we're going to want to do is go to Google jQuery. So Google has a CDN host of jQuery, and we're going to use that. You just scroll down a bit under libraries, copy and paste the jQuery script onto your page. Okay, I'm going to put mine right there. I'm going to give it a little bit more space, this way it can be there. And inside of our script tags, we're going to write our JavaScript. jQuery is a lot like CSS in terms of how you select your elements. So in CSS, if you said, okay, I want the span dot nav button, just like up here, you could then style everything and change out its presentation. Using this jQuery selector, you can do the same thing, and once you select it, jQuery has all of these built-in functions that you can use to change up the interactivity of your web page. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a click event, and then we're going to run this function. And this is what's known as a callback in jQuery. You don't need to know exactly what that means, but for now, just write out the syntax, and the more you write jQuery, the more you will begin to understand. So, all right, so we attach the click event, and it doesn't do anything. $sign is not defined. Okay, so if you're running this on your local file system, you need to add in HTTP colon. If you're running all of this on a server, you can use the protocol relative, and you don't need the HTTP. Okay, so that works. So what do we want to do when this is clicked? We want to toggle this menu. So we're going to use the jQuery toggle function. So think in terms of CSS. I want to select this menu, and it's a UL with a class of nav. So I'm going to do ul.nav, and I'm going to call this function toggle. All right, refresh the page, and when I click the menu, it toggles. One small thing, when you resize this, the menu automatically is toggled to display. What I want to do is, when it's less than 600 pixels, I want this to be display none. Okay, so when you switch back and forth, it's display none. There's one more bug that you need to watch out for. When you toggle the menu to hide itself, it's also going to be hidden when it's greater than 600 pixels. So the way we're going to fix that is we're going to remove this attribute up here. So there's an attribute being set on the UL called display none. And we're going to say when this window here is greater than 600 pixels, let's remove this style attribute. And notice when I toggle, it goes to display block. And that's what the jQuery toggle function is doing. It's just adding in this style display block or display none. So let's fix that bug. And what we're going to do is we're going to select the window, and we're going to attach an event, a resize event, and we're going to say when it's resized, call this function, and we're going to have a condition. So if the window is the window's width is greater than 600 pixels, remove the style attribute from the nav. So let's select this nav again, and we're going to use a function called remove attr. So remove attribute style. So we're going to remove this style attribute right here from our web page, but only when the window's width is greater than 600 pixels. So let's take a look at how that works now. So I toggle it. The window class is now display none, but when I resize greater than 600 pixels, that style attribute is removed. Okay, so this looks good for now. One more thing that you could also use a jQuery slide toggle, and this will give a different effect to your menu. It'll now slide down, and that looks pretty cool. But I will leave all of the extra styling and interactivity to you. This is just a simple platform that you could work from. I'm running out of time, so thank you for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment box. Have a good day.